We've been trying to let you know about this. Water, water everywhere.
So here's a pretty good example of what can happen when the ground is really soaked because you've had a lot of rain over the last couple of days, couple of weeks, and all of a sudden you get a big storm that comes over town. A lot of the creeks and streams swelled up, and yeah, it caused some pretty big-time issues. It was on the south side of Birmingham. On Wednesday, they had some pretty serious flash flooding issues. We've been dealing with stuff like that up in parts of the Midwest as well. If you recall, a couple of days ago, parts of western Wisconsin, parts of Iowa have been dealing with flooding.
Cool, wet, heavy air. You see it's just dropping out of that thunderstorm like basically like a water balloon.
Ironically, this high-pressure system is going to nudge the rain the other way, in a sense.
7 to 8 inches of rain in a short span of time. That's what happened in Kansas City, resulting in scenes like this. Water, water everywhere.
Interstate 35 was closed in both directions at Lamar Avenue for a time due to the flooding.
And we're concerned that this will happen again, a repeat performance stretching from the Midwest all the way over into the Mid-Atlantic. I mean, look, the water is literally coming up and over the wall there in front of that QT gas station. So many reports of water rescues out there, big time problems, and that is all coming as well for the future for many locations, as we mentioned, pulling across the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and as well for the north.
Well, that storm system's going to stall out.
Things are turning stormy.
Look at all of these cars underwater.
Remember, never underestimate the power of water.
We have a record-breaking cold front coming down from Canada. We have hot, humid heat coming up from the Gulf. We have monsoonal moisture coming up from the East Pacific binary hurricane pair. So you got cold air, hot, humid air, monsoonal moisture, and then you have African dust blowing in big chunks.
It's getting strange, y'all. This week, there has been some weird weather features, and guess what? They are continuing. Now,
Stay cool. I don't know if you know this. Thor News is for winners, and that's why you're here. So stick around.
We've got a video message.
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
Hit the button, baby. This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents... Welcome to Asteroid Fight Club. I'm your host, Thor. Today we have
A surge of very hot air that's going to overtake the south central part of the country, as well as steamy air that's coming off of the Gulf.
and for this weekend, normally we do not see cold fronts dip this far to the south in the month of July, but it will happen, and that means...
If you live in Texas over the last couple of days, you may have looked up in the sky and noticed like this weird haze that just didn't really belong. It was dust from the Sahara Desert in Africa. It's amazing how the atmosphere works sometimes. So
we're going to watch for a breakout of scattered showers. It's going to become really problematic.
Some hard downpours, gusty winds, all of that.
We're looking for the scattered thunderstorms to shift more towards the east and then go over and covering a good chunk of Wyoming, a good chunk, really the majority of Colorado, and then leaning into New Mexico more so, and kind of coming out of Arizona.
But we're going to see the threat shifting eastward for those showers and thunderstorms as an area of high pressure moves westward. Now, as we go into the weekend, that area of high pressure shifts back to the east, and they're slow moving. So anything that does pop up has the potential for a pretty heavy downpour associated with it.
Look for continuous downpours with the likelihood of some flash flooding associated with some of these strong storms that will begin to develop very quickly throughout the region. Look for an outbreak of strong storms with occasional very gusty winds ranging between about 40 to 60 mile-per-hour winds, with some of these isolated pockets of strong thunderstorms.
Here is a look at the severe weather for Friday. Once again, the mid-Atlantic, and also a lot of storms sweeping through sections of the south across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, particularly the northern halves of these states.
And as that front drops to our south, it actually kind of creates a little bit of a roadway here, so to speak, where this area of low pressure is just going to move right along that.
But this is going to be an all-encompassing low-pressure system. It's going to begin to track and drift towards the east.
The severe weather threat still encompasses sections of the Tennessee Valley, sweeps through the Carolinas, and all the way up through sections of Maryland.
Heavy rains, definitely. Flash flooding, some travel disruptions. Some of the airports are going to have delays. Obviously, if you're driving through some of these interstates, there's going to be problems. I-95 from Philadelphia on southward through D.C. and then to Richmond, some problems here, and then back across Interstate 70 and also across the Pennsylvania Turnpike. That's mainly going to be Friday night and Saturday morning.
Now, as we go into Saturday, this low-pressure system is going to be nearly stationary, and we'll have some lingering moisture across the East Coast.
Because the storms, they're going to be slow-moving, and many of them so slow-moving, with rain coming down on top of the same areas over and over again.
But the storm is going to stall on Saturday.
So yes, we're going to lead into some problems.
Now, check this out.
There's a look at some of the locations that are going to be impacted. Again, tail end of the weekend into early next week. We'll continue to keep you posted, but right now you should definitely expect for some of the seas to get pretty rough and rather windy for many of you along the immediate coastline.
If you're heading to any of the beaches in Southern California Friday and Saturday, keep that in mind. It could be dangerous at times out on the water.
So all of a sudden, the Pacific Basin became this hot spot for tropical activity.
In the southeast, we've been watching daily showers and thunderstorms getting enhanced by this low pressure system.
Seriously.
That was a record breaker. Now, on the flip side, cannibal hurricanes on the satellite. You're looking at it right now. Kulap and Noru. We actually have two instances of this.
These two systems could wind up doing something that we don't see in the weather world too often. We could see Noru intensify into a typhoon, and then it would pull Kulap into the Fujiwara effect, where the two systems would do a little dance, and then they would rotate counterclockwise.
Now, we've been talking about this over the last couple of days. This whole idea of when you get two tropical systems right next to each other, for lots of reasons, they start to, just rotate around one another. It's kind of like a dance between two tropical systems.
There's a car there in the background there that is just about completely submerged. Very scary indeed.
But the storm is going to stall on Saturday.
Heading on into the later part of the weekend, we'll have a cold front dropping through, and this could be pretty significant.
We're expecting frequent lightning strikes and...
Would you look at that? A National Weather Service office finding itself in the bullseye of a microburst. Wow, what a view.
We've been talking cannibal storms. Yes, the Fujiwara effect ×2 right now happening in the Pacific Ocean. That's something we don't typically see.
You know what that actually was? Seriously.
Heavy rain. Traveling tomorrow, be patient.
To the north of it, it's tranquil. It's cool. It's nice stuff. But
And here's the big picture. Look at this.
But I'm concerned about this low pressure area that is sitting off Florida. So as this low pressure system moves out, they're talking about another low pressure system is going to form here and then slowly move up the coast during the week. So that sounds to me like a week of rain up the East Coast.
So this whole system's not going to move very fast. That's kind of the other problem.
So I'm monitoring the storms.
we anticipate very strong storms, severe storms likely a part of the mix as well.
This is the situation you need to pay attention to starting now. Ronald Reagan once said the 9 scariest words are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And so, I'm Thor and I'm the King of America. I need you to wake up, listen, understand, and recognize where I'm telling you, as your king, we are one American family. And the time for us to work together is now. I am putting us all on official, full awareness, full alert. So, we got a big storm coming to the east today. After Kansas City, we've had 10 states flood in the last week. Hey y'all, now is the time to pay attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking the Thor News Weird Weather Watch to new superhero levels. Everybody's officially on super high alert. From now till the eclipse, we've been encountering major flooding. We got more anomalies that I can keep up with. Crazy days indeed. So smoke them if you got them. If you got a lady or a dude, I'd go grab him and kiss him, give him a hug, and maybe take a chance on somebody you might think could be very special. Because this is doomy and romantic, and it's about to get freaky. But stay cool and work together, please.
If it's happening in a galaxy, then Thor is all over it. Hurricane, solar flares, planet X. How humanity's gonna destroy itself at each other's necks. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. No, I don't know if you know this. Thor knows his ways, baby. Thor knows is the one, baby. Thor knows his ways, baby. Thor knows is the one, baby.
It was a wild, severe weather day.
Just some nasty storms.
We've been trying to let you know about this. Water everywhere.